So welcome back to obviously Fight Talk, and if you are watching on YouTube, you will recognize I haven't spoke to him in a while. We're not saying he's the best. We're just saying there's absolutely nobody better. Brendan Dorman, the B to the D, is back on OFT.
Woo! Let's do it, boys.
Let's do it. I'm like an old school hip hop artist there. UFC 228 goes down this weekend. We got the gold on the line. It is Tyron Woodley defending his title against Darren the Gorilla Till. Let's start it there, Brendan Dorman. Who wins this fight and why?
Oh man, I think it's so 50-50. I haven't looked at the line much. The one thing that concerns me that I think should concern everyone, really, and we all know I'm a fan of Darren's, and he's a friend of the show, and he's a literal friend of the show, that I won't be rooting against him, but I won't be rooting for Tyron, and I won't be, you know what I mean? I'm not rooting for either, because I like both, because they're both friends of friends, very good friends of very good friends, right? So that aside, let's swipe that bullshit away. Now, technically, from a technical standpoint, the weight thing concerns me a little, maybe a lot. Darren missed pretty significantly last time. It wasn't a hair, you know? It wasn't a pound, and then you went, well, he could maybe shed that last pound, you know, for a title fight, et cetera, et cetera. He's a massive 170. Tyron is too, but he makes weight every time. I don't remember him ever missing weight, actually. No. Right?
No.
So, Tyron's wider, right? Darren's got obviously a taller, lankier frame based. He fights based on his frame. So does Tyron. Well, both of them. Did you guys watch the embedded or whatever it's called, the leading up to the fight thing, the countdown?
I watched a bit of it. I haven't watched the full thing yet.
I was paying attention to some of Tyron's stuff, and he's going to like a Wild Card gym, which is Freddie Roach's gym in LA, and he's training with Freddie's right hand. His name escapes me. Virgil, or I can't think of the guy's first name. Anyway, working his hands with him. He's working his Muay Thai with Duke. What I wonder is, who's he working his grappling with?
Yeah.
Because to me, he's got to win that way. He's got the power to knock out Brock Lesnar. I mean, Tyron's power is terrifying, but it's usually kind of wingy. You know, even with Lawler, that was opened up by a feint. He does well against southpaws. I mean, he's fought, Christ.
Yeah.
I think like 7 of it or whatever, 6 of his last 10 or something are southpaws, something like that. It's a bizarre amount almost, right?
Yeah.
But he does okay with them, so I don't think he'll have trouble figuring out what to do in that with Darren's stance. But his length and getting inside, I think you got to use your grappling or at least like threaten it, you know. And not be you can't be gun shy with Darren, and I don't think either of them can afford it, star power wise. Like we can't afford a 5-round feel out fest again. We really can't. Tyron won the belt in such spectacular fashion, right? If Darren wins it in said spectacular fashion, he's nuclear, right? If Tyron wins in spectacular fashion, I won't be surprised, but I think it'll legitimize his self-acclamation, if you will. Tyron talks about in the first person or third person, like Tyron's the best. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the best 170 whatever of all time, I think he even says. And there's an argument for it too, I think. And I think if he wins this one, he solidified it too, right? Interesting. Striking-wise, I think Tyron has more power. Obviously, it's not as refined. But Darren's not, who's like the most, I'm trying to think of the most technically sound, like Dillashaw's technically very sound as a striker. You know what I mean? He's not that. Darren's a little more wild, you know, but he's powerful and he's crazy. Sometimes crazy is good, you know? It's an interesting little chess match. I just hope it's not too much of a chess match where everyone's calling it such.
What do you think of a lot of people I've spoke to about this? It's almost like sometimes you hear this in a lot of fights where you go, he's never fought a guy like Darren Till. He's never fought a guy like Tyron Woodley. But in this case, I actually think that carries water. Like I really do. Like if you look back at the last few opponents that Woodley has fought, none of them are similar to Darren Till.
Getcha.
An aspect of this fight that I think you're going to have Darren Till walking down Tyron Woodley, trying to put Woodley on the back foot and walking him down.
I do as well. I agree with you. I do.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. I think you're right in some regards. I think Wonder Boy is not so different. He just has a different car to get to the show, if that makes sense. Yeah. His style of striking, in other words, is different. Yeah. So while his approach is a Mercedes, maybe Darren's is more like a Dodge Viper or a fucking Porsche or something. You know what I'm saying? It's more Muay Thai MMA based striking, whereas Wonder Boy's more elusive karate based. And you saw that by them canceling each other out. They're very similar.
It's with I understand what you're saying. I disagree with it a bit because, like, for me, Wonder Boy is almost like a point scorer. He gets in, bang, gone. While Till will walk you down, hit you with his shots, and keep coming forward. While Wonder Boy
gets hit.
Yeah, but you know,
that's where
Scousers don't get knocked out.
Right, he's got better power and finishing ability than Wonder Boy, but he doesn't have the evasion that Wonder Boy has. And Tyron still clipped him and almost put him away. Who doesn't get hit? I mean, who's really hit Wonder Boy that well? Even a lot of people didn't think Till beat him, right? If we're being fair here. We're being just fair, objective, right? It's not about whether or not I like Till or like Wonder Boy. It's objectively what I saw was a really close, kind of boring fight where they canceled each other out. And Till's there to get hit. I mean, he is. So I think that's where the balancing act kind of happens. They're not the same striker, and Wonder Boy is not a pressure guy. Till tends to pressure, but Tyron will duck down and use his amazing grappling if he's smart. I'd hope. Yeah.
I think that's the big one, though.
I don't know how good Till's going to be off his back, though. He's so long. Maybe he'll pull the Bisping versus GSP and foot to hips, elbows down. I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta he earned a lot of his professional trade in Brazil. Like, he lived in
I know that.
Fought,
yeah,
so
you don't know what it looks
he's
like.
got to be versed on the mat.
Yeah, you'd have to think he's fairly decent, but I think that's the big one. I think, is Tyron Woodley going to use his grappling? And I don't know. Like, it's one of them things where Tyron Woodley...
To me, that's the fight.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Tyron Woodley, since what? What fight? What's the last fight you remember him really imposing his grappling on somebody? Yeah, I can't remember.
Wonder Boy won.
Wonder Boy... Yeah, a little bit.
And then defensive grappling Maya, but it became so, like, inevitable that it became boring, but it was impressive. Yeah, because he set a blueprint for then other people to do the same shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But a lot of those fights, and even the Thompson one fight, there was some grappling, but a lot of those fights, and the second Thompson fight, obviously, and Maya, was that Woodley likes to play up against the cage, and I don't really like that when he fights a striker. And I know, I think
it's terrible against Till. It's a terrible idea to fight like that.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, you look at the Cowboy fight, that's where Cowboy got caught when Till kind of corralled him up against the cage and landed a shot. Even the Wonder Boy fight, even though he didn't really hurt him that much, I think he clipped him, but he still dropped him up against the cage. I don't think Wonder Boy... Yeah, I don't think Wonder Boy is as good in that kind of game as Till is. I think Wonder Boy is really good at keeping guys at range, but I don't think he's really that good at getting them against the cage and really attacking there.
Like cornering footwork.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to watch boxing, like the way Triple G's footwork works, right?
Yeah.
The way he corners guys. If you get a chance, anyone who's watching, watch at least the section in my Triple G breakdown of how he corners opponents. I've done it a bunch of times, but with other fighters, but he's the primary example. Of course, Lomachenko does everything well, but that has enough views. Watch the Triple G one. He's amazing at figuring out how to throw a right hand or feint it to get someone frozen and then throw his left hook. It's feints and it's footwork and angles, all the overused terms you can think of.
Yeah. It's
all of those, but it's doing them right and doing them in conjunction in an explainable kind of way.
One thing that you said, Brendan, but so have a lot of people when they're talking about Darren Till, is that he hasn't finished that many opponents. As in, you know, he fought like Bojan, he fought Herrera.
I didn't say that.
No, what he said, Woodley has more power. Apologies, putting words in your mouth.
I think so, yeah.
Nicholas Dalby, when you look at these fights,
explosive power.
The three fights I've mentioned, he dropped all his opponents.
Yeah.
Like when you fair enough. For me, I think it's a past his best Donald Cerrone that he finished that quickly, but it was still impressive. When you look at what Rob was saying, Woodley has backed himself up against the cage, and this is where it's like you always do it, don't you? When you talk about Darren Till, Conor McGregor, the left hand of Darren Till is like Conor's. He coils it almost beyond where the reach is. You think you're outside of his reach, and he goes that little bit further with it. And I think that's how he ends the fight, by knocking out Tyron Woodley with a long left hand, similar to the way Conor knocked out Diego Brandao, how he put down Chad Mendes. That type of running along the cage puts him down and puts him out, and perhaps has to finish with ground and pound. But I see there was a fight share during the week, and again, it's silly because it was that long ago. Nate the Great Marquardt, when he beat Tyron Woodley in Strikeforce to win the Strikeforce title
10 years ago.
Yeah, but like, look, it's still, you know, I know they've evolved, they are different, but that's the danger that I think Darren Till brings to this fight. I really do think that he has that potential to finish, especially if Woodley plays the game with his back up against the fence. I honestly can see similar style fashion to how Conor McGregor finished them fights, along the cage with an overreaching left hand. Like overreaching is wrong. That makes it sound.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I just think
I don't disagree at all.
But that's
what I was saying. What I was saying was actual like power, bud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like actual, how much is on that from Woodley? Is how much torque does he have? More than anyone at 170. Actual punching power, but that doesn't.
Yeah.
Just power. Julian the Hawk Jackson, ever heard of him?
No.
Right. He's the pound for pound most powerful puncher ever in boxing. 145, he'd sleep dudes like fading backwards, little short hooks. Some people have that dynamic power, but he wasn't Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? He wasn't. Yeah. He got hit too. He got knocked out. He lived by the sword, die by the sword, right? If Woodley can find in his sheath of swords, if you will, his grappling, he can win. If he can't, he will lose.
Wow.
To me, it's it's not calculus.
Yeah, I think Woodley
even back up against the fence, which I agree is a terrible idea, by the way.
It works
if you
for
can
him, though.
time, you're against the fence and you're seeing enough and waiting, right? Because sometimes Till's cadence to someone like me, who's fought as an advanced striker, and I understand timing and cadence, his can be a tad predictable at times. He's really, I mean, Till is excellent, so I'm picking pepper out of shit here a little bit, but sometimes he hops with timing, right? If someone like Woodley's working on his timing with a really good boxing trainer, he's gonna wait, heavy feet, shoot. You know, he's explosive enough to do it. Yeah. Will he? I don't know.
That's the thing. I think Woodley can knock him out because, as you said, Till does get hit. And even though Woodley does do that whole...
What if you fake the takedown, grab the single, throw the overhand
Exactly,
right?
It could be something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I think as well. I just don't know. It's just one of them things where we've seen Woodley doing a very, very similar game plan over the years, kind of not using his grappling. And I feel like, I don't know, sometimes you feel like they're kind of molded into that, which he's not. He's used his wrestling in the past, so he can come out and start shooting takedowns. He could start looking at his grappling, start mixing it up. But I think in the fight where he does what he done against Stephen Thompson, which I think we're not giving Till enough credit what he did against Thompson. It was a close fight, but we haven't seen many people really do that to Thompson, where they kind of just had him on his back foot, not on his own terms. Stephen Thompson doesn't mind being on his back foot, but on his own terms when he wants to counter strike. It wasn't that. It was a different type of fight. But I think if Tyron Woodley does that and he just starts backing up, I think Till might catch him. But, you know, we don't know what grappling is.
One thing I'd say as well, that I swear I'm in mind, coach, but like talking to Darren Till, you don't doubt for a second that he's going to become the champion. Like when you're talking to him, you don't think, he's busy, he's talking shite, you man. He firmly believes he's going to be crowned a champion on Saturday night. There's not, and I know a lot of fighters have that, but it's like, it's just, you know, when you're talking to someone and you're all in, you know what I mean? When they're telling you, you're like, I don't doubt you. Not even the slightest do I doubt you. I think it's going to be a great fight. And if Woodley wins this fight, right, this will be a great fight for Woodley to come through this. Because if he wins, I think he wins by finishing Darren Till, by beating him that way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I think for Woodley, this is a great fight as a champion, because he's not the most loved champion. No. We can all appreciate what he does, how he does it.
And he's one of the most solid guys.
Yeah,
he's
like
great.
That belt hasn't been funky in years.
Yeah.
170's been pretty solid as a title for years. It's one of the very few. There's no squirreliness,
like,
really.
It's like we were talking about during the week about Tyron Woodley. Would he fight Usman if Till was to fall out? He's like, no, I want a full camp to do that. And people shit it all over that. Like, if somebody else had said, like, if that was GSP who said, no, I want a full camp, people wouldn't say anything because it's GSP. Because it's Woodley, they jump all over it. It's the right
Let's use Connor instead.
Huh?
Let's use Connor instead. GSP has a lot of critics now.
Yeah, well, of course, because he's fucking washed up.
Yeah, I know. It showed against your boy.
Did you?
How's his eye doing?
He's washed up. Did you see Jesus.
What, the picture?
He needs to bring out a dieting program.
What?
He looks so lean.
Yeah, he's mad lean, yeah.
55.
He's shredded as a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If he's moving to 155, that title's his.
Not at all. Connor will knock him out in one.
It always comes back to this. It's hilarious.
I don't think he'd break a sweat against Connor. I don't think he'd even sweat.
Rob, your pick. Darren Till. Do
you
know what it depends? We have to say, we were talking to Jim Edwards earlier. Big thing is,
does he make weight?
Weigh-in day.
Yeah.
Stood on the scales. How does he look?
Yeah.
How does he feel? That's a big part.
Yeah,
so making a pick on a Monday is quite difficult.
Yeah, I reserve my judgment to make my pick officially on Friday. But I'm going to pick Darren Till.
I'm picking Darren Till.
I don't know. I just feel it's going to happen.
Like, if Till makes weight and makes weight comfortable, it looks like he does, because he looks in great shape. It looks like he's not as big as he was leading into other fights. There was a lot of personal issues around his last weight. The day of weigh-in, there was a lot of stuff that happened as well that day. But I see Darren Till making weight.
But also, I will say, I wouldn't put money on it because, as you said, the lines are actually really close. I think it's like a pick 'em.
They're even. They're pick 'em.
Yeah, it's a pick 'em. I'd like a bit more money on Till. Yeah, I'd like a bit more money on that. Like, I wouldn't put a whole lot of money on Till to win. It's a close fight. Woodley is great. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, great fight.
I think it's a coin flip. I think go to my Twitter in round one. I'll tell you who I think will win. I always need to see him move around when it's that close. I don't know. He's got to make weight first too.
Yeah,
I want to see the stare down. He looks way bigger, obviously, when they do stare downs. But if Woodley's a lot smarter than I think people give him credit for.
Yeah,
he fights smart. You know,
he does. Great game plan.
I mean, is it sometimes a little? That's a byproduct of it. You know.
Yeah,
but I don't know who's gonna win. I'll stick to if it stays standing, it's Till's fight. If grappling's involved, it's Woodley's.
Cool.
Co-main event sees Nicco Montano getting beat the shit up by Valentina Shevchenko.
Jesus Christ.
Look, well done. You're a champion. Hope you enjoyed your reign. I don't see any other, unless Shevchenko just has a terrible weight cut or something and is ill that day. Gets a bad dose of something. I just don't see any way of Montano getting a win
you don't. And
I don't mean to be disrespectful.
Yeah, you don't want to disrespect, especially a champion.
But when you are a -6 underdog and you were the champion, she's 6-1, which means, Brendan, if you were to put $100 on Montano and she wins, you would win $700.
Yeah, so it'd be plus 800 or whatever.
So, and she's the champion.
I saw our lines on it, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. This feels like Joanna, Carla Esparza, I believe.
Yeah, but even with that one, before that, I don't think people really knew what Joanna was.
No, like after.
Yeah, afterwards.
After the fight, how we felt. Like how everyone felt. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
like this feels like it's going to be similar. One is a straight gangster of a chick. She's a fucking killer. She spars mostly dudes.
Yeah.
Valentina's a killer. Nico's very talented.
She's made 125 plenty as well. Shevchenko has made 125 plenty.
Her last fight was 125 against
but even in
Priscilla
Carrera,
who's pretty much not very good.
I think she'll make weight easy.
Yeah, no, she makes weight. That's her natural weight class.
Question is, do we see it going past round 2?
No.
Do we see it going past round 1?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe on Moxie.
Yeah, she's tough.
Like a head kick type or ground and pound to finish.
Yeah.
As I always say, there's not a lot of women that are like one hitter quitter type power. A head kick will do that for sure, but a punch.
Can't see any other way. Unfortunately.
Ask her on the Rousey if Holly Holm is a one-punch finisher, one-shot finisher.
Kick.
Sure is.
Kick.
The next bout there further down, we're all in agreement here. Shevchenko's winning here.
Don't correct yourself or anything.
Huh? Sorry, I did say kick. Say kick. Just maybe it's your
punch.
Maybe it's your shitty Wi-Fi in the United States of America.
Changing my words.
Yeah, fuck's sake. Get Trump to sort that shit out. Forget build a wall. Build some decent Wi-Fi, Trump. Zabit
needs a new raccoon for his head.
Zabit Magomedsharipov taking on Brandon Davis. Similar to the co-main event, does Brandon Davis get out of round 1 taking on Magomedsharipov?
He's tough.
Yeah.
He may.
Tough for his...
I think
he's
another
tough. Like Kyle Bochniak type, fucking warrior.
He fought Kyle Bochniak as well. He fought Kyle Bochniak.
They keep giving him these guys. Like Yair, I think was in a weird way almost an easier fight, minus the tricks, potential tricks, right? Although I don't see Zabit getting hit with any of them. I think this is a tougher fight in a way, like for him to look good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like this guy is tough. Like Bochniak, where a lot of people saw that third round with Bochniak when Zabit didn't just finish him and blow him out. You're like, he's tough. Just he got beat up for 3 rounds. Just leave it at that. This could be a similar fight. That's what it is. It could be one of them similar ones. But what I found with Davis is that first round he looked really, really good, and once he starts to fade a little bit, that technique in his hands kind of goes. His combinations in the first round are great. So the first round could be really exciting, although I think he's just going to get countered and maybe finished. But if he stays in there, it could be really good. But yeah.
Zabit's terrifyingly good. He's one of the better prospects I can recall in my life. He looks 80 years old. He does. He looks older than me, and I think he's half my age.
He has the physique of Jesus Christ.
He looks older than me, and he's like, I'd say he's 15 years younger than me.
Did you hear what Rob said? He has the physique of Jesus Christ.
He so
it's true, though.
Like the coiffed chest hair.
Just like there's nothing there. He's a beast, like.
Yeah, he's muscular though. But skinny Yeah, I know.
That wins comment of the year 2018.
Dude, that's amazing. The more I think about it, the more I see Mel Gibson.
So you would say that Brandon Davis would need a miracle here on Saturday night.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. I just want to watch people. I love that fucking guy. All I was trying to say is I think he's one of the best prospects I've ever seen him.
I agree. He's phenomenal. I don't like doing this with fights where the co-main and the main, the one after the co-main, we're kind of like, how long are they going to last? But sometimes that is what it is.
Brandon Davis, though, as we're saying, he's tough. So does it become a part for Zabit in this fight, possibly where he's thrown him all over the cage, he's done crazy spinning attacks, hitting him with crazy elbows, and he's like, how are you still in this cage with me? Does that become a facet, possibly, of this fight?
No, because it didn't with Bochniak. I think his hand was broken and he just threw everything at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm not disagreeing just to disagree, although it does seem that way sometimes, I understand. But I'm not. I swear to you I'm not. But I know what you're saying, because sometimes he's a little extra flashy when he doesn't need to be. Yeah. Right? The flash needs substance, always. His substance is fantastic, but it's like he's a little too 70-30 flash to substance. You know, make it a little more 50-50. Stick to your jab, cross, hook, leg kick, then open up with a wheel kick. Yeah. Not wheel kick, spinning fucking wheel kick, somersault kick. Like, all right, we get it. Get a fucking arsenal. You know what I mean? That worries me a little bit, but other than that, no.
He is like the kid who has Street Fighter and knows all the fucking moves, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're playing him.
He's the kid that knows the glitch in the game. You know what I mean? You're
playing him standing across
with Dal
that little
kick thing.
He's like, Hayuken, Tiger, uppercut, Tiger, Hayuken.
Throws a fireball and hits you with the punch as you try to jump over it. Yeah. Like, motherfucker. Yeah. I can't even get close.
Yeah. Motherfucker, you tricked me.
He's like 6'8", fights at 145.
Yeah. So,
awesome. With the body of Jesus Christ. Somebody's got to make a T-shirt of that.
That's amazing.
Zabit,
Passion of
crucified or something.
Jesus, that's too far.
Jesus, that's too far.
He could come out like Chemo Verlins on the cross.
Yeah, right? Jesus. Stop saying Jesus.
Stop saying Jesus, Rob.
So go. Let's get to the picks.
Yeah.
Brandon Davis, round 1 KO.
Brandon Davis, spinning wheel kick to... Like Barboza against Terry Edom.
Yeah, he's just gonna style.
All right.
That's the finish.
On him.
Brendan Davis via twister, 323 into the first.
Yeah. Yeah, Magomed.
Yeah, we're all going Magomedsharipov here. Number one contender bout has to be at 115. Jessica Andrade taking on Karolina Kowalkiewicz. This is a good fight. It's weird because time is ticking.
Oh, he hates it.
You hate it.
Yeah, for a reason. I'll explain.
You
Keep
think
on.
Karolina's going to get dominated grappling and it upsets you because she's sort of your girlfriend? Yep. But go ahead, give us your.
She's such a wonderful flower. I just want to see her okay.
You remind me of Louis C.K. when he's talking about, you know.
No, I don't.
Don't do it.
How harsh the word.
Don't do it.
Vagina is. It should be called a. It's like, you know, hey, who looked at it and thought that's a cunt? Is that the only way you can call it a cunt? It was attacking a big village. This is probably going to be beat, isn't it? Louis C.K. was back. He was in the Comedy Cellar this week, so good to see Louis C.K.'s back. Look, he asked him if it was all right. You know, that's asking for it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what he did shouldn't be in the same category as the other.
Not a chance. Anyway, so Jessica Andrade, you are worried here that she's going to absolutely ragdoll Karolina, basically.
Yeah. What? Do you guys see a path for Karolina? I just don't.
She's tough.
Her jiu-jitsu off her back potentially.
She has good strikes from the clinch. I don't see a win, but I can see where she can cause a few problems for a while until Andrade takes over, pretty much.
Andrade, remember after she fought Joanna? Like my takeaway was like, she's unknockoutable. Like she's not. Joanna hit her with clean head kicks like 16 times.
Yeah, man. She's crazy.
And she just walked forward. So what you know what I'm saying? Is Karolina much more powerful than Joanna? I don't even know if she's more powerful, let alone much more. So would it be a matter of like getting her down? Like good luck. That's hard too. Andrade is like, I don't know, man. It's almost like when you watch Cyborg fight, it almost feels like I hate saying this shit. It's a little controversial, but I don't know. One's a delicate flower to me.
And one's a nettle ready to sting you.
The weird thing about...
I mean, she's such a great fighter, but it's almost like when one has, like, God, I want to say the word, but I'm trying to use another word. One has more maybe testosterone than the other. It just seems like they're off to a bad start from the jump. How about that? Is that fair?
Naturally testosterone, yeah, sure.
You gave out to me about saying fla la 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 and the C word there, and you're letting that slide.
I'm letting everything slide here. I'm not editing
But look,
this.
are we underestimating?
No, PC.
That was PC, it's fine.
Are we underestimating Karolina? Like, she is 12-2 as a mixed martial artist, so it's not like the first time she's fought somebody that's going to impose this sort of threat.
I couldn't coach her. She's too pretty.
Yeah, I think we always underestimate Karolina. She's an excellent fighter, as you said, and the only thing I see here is that Andrade will play the game that Karolina likes, at least. She will clinch with her. She will get close so he can have... She's not going to, do a Yin Jacek type fight where he's going to fight at range where Karolina's not great. She's going to give her a chance, and that's where she could possibly win.
I think one thing Karolina has that's better than Joanna is her clinch work.
Yeah,
her clinch work is better.
Her clinch is savage.
Yeah.
So she beat Rose, right?
Yeah, all in the clinch.
With the clinch.
Yeah, all in the clinch, yeah.
So if Andrade does play that game, that's going to come into it. But at the same time, Brendan...
It's super technical, but is it strong enough?
Yeah, I can see Andrade walking through it.
Yeah.
I can see her walking through it to get to where she wants.
I wonder if it was 5 rounds. I'm not sure what Andrade's gas tank is like. It seems to be really good. I think she had one 5-round fight. It was the title fight. That was 5 rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah. I went all 5. Yeah.
And she looked grand. Like, she looked good. She didn't really slow down too much. But I'd be interested to see if it was 5 rounds because Karolina's gas tank is pretty good. So maybe she could pick up some rounds late. But with 3 rounds, I think Andrade just... I think she just gets a decision.
Yeah, I agree.
People like that are explosive tend to be more favored in the 3 rounds rather than 5. I agree with that.
Yeah. It's a good fight though.
I mean, the technical clinch, like, is it Malapet Senchai good? You know, she's amazing in the clinch. One of the better in all of MMA. But is it that good? Is it so good that she could get me with it? No. No fucking way. I'm a grown man. Yeah, I could just, all I need to grab is her wrist.
Sure, brother.
You know what I mean? It's something that, thanks guys.
That's a great clip.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man.
I'm a grown ass man. I pay for this house in cash money.
Yeah.
So my point being is that at some point, strength fucking matters quite a bit. And I just feel like Andrade's like, she's known for that slamming,
That's
even
the
from angles, she has no business slamming the other person. So if in close is where you plan on winning the game, because Joanna won it by long ass jabs and long ass teeps and long kicks. Like everything was long. Do you really want to stay, almost chest to chest with her? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate the fight because I like Karolina.
I love the fight. I think it's a great fight. I'm gonna go with Andrade.
It's a wonderful fight.
Yeah.
I'm playing my part.
Andrade decision.
Yeah, I see the same. Yeah. I see her grinding it out and getting it through that way.
Yeah.
We got to move on because time
Niko
is the
Price.
essence. Niko Price taking on Abdul Alhassan. I
like it.
It's 12-1
Two
against
really good
9-1.
prospects,
So
yeah.
two really good prospects.
Really good prospects. Yeah, I like Price in this one. He's kind of a weird, wild striker. But also, if you watch back and watch that Joban fight, remember the Joban fight where he caught him with a counter off the
Alan
Joban? Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Caught him with a counter off that kind of sloppy leg kick.
Yeah.
So he does have good striking. Alhassan would like to keep us on the feet because he's a very powerful striker, but also Niko Price on the floor is really, really good. Great submissions. I think Niko Price wins this one, but two really good prospects. I'm going to go with Niko Price by a submission of some sort.
Brendan.
Hey, what's do you guys have Niko Price's record in front of you?
12-1.
12-1.
Yeah, a lot of people are really.
Remember he won his last fight from the bottom.
Yeah,
Hammer fist from the bottom.
Yeah, he's Mr. Creative.
Yeah.
He's called the
He's
hybrid.
the one that he triangulated his legs and then he extended his foot up like you would in a triangle,
Yeah.
against the guy's face and then hammer fisted from the bottom.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. And I think a lot of people missed it at first, and then everyone, of course, knew what happened. So I didn't even bother breaking that down. I would have if everyone didn't catch it after. Someone like Luke Thomas, I think, talked about it, and then everyone knew it as fact. It's like everything else,
Yeah.
I knew the whole time. But it was another creative win for him. That kid's really good, man. He's tenacious.
Yeah.
He just comes up with really interesting shit. Like, I've never seen that before.
No.
Trapping someone's head with your foot off a triangulated leg over a shoulder. It's almost like a failed omoplata into hammer fists.
It was so impressive that Tapology actually gave it credit on the thing. Like, not the way usually they go like win punches round one. They actually said win hammer fist from the bottom position round 2.
Hashtag fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a once only. I don't know if that's ever happened.
Wasn't there one more? Like recently, they were like close
not
together.
like that.
No, not like that. But it was from the bottom. I think it was more from guard. He just fucking. No. Anyway, I go with Price.
Yeah, I'm going with Price as well.
Kevin Randleman, but he didn't knock him
It wasn't
out.
a finish. Yeah.
No, I agree. I got Niko Price there as well. He's beat some good guys as well. The likes of Brandon Thatch, Alan Joban, Randy Brown. So I think he's fought like the better guys.
Thatch.
So yeah.
Joban's very good, man.
Yeah, and he knocked him out, finished him with strikes.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yep.
Again, time is the essence. So there's a couple of fights that jump out. One I want to look at is Aljamain Sterling against Cody Stamann, and the reason being is Cody Stamann is this guy that has flown under the radar.
Somehow.
Yeah, and he's
beaten a lot of good guys.
He's beaten a lot of guys. Like he last beat Brian Caraway. He's on a 10-fight win streak. The likes of Tom Duke and they were sort of giving him the hype guys, weren't they?
Yeah, and he
keep beating them. So this is a big fight against a very dangerous Aljamain Sterling. Of course, both former guests of the show. So that'd be my undercard pick. But Rob, I know there's plenty on the card that you probably want to jump
Jimmy
at as well.
Rivera, John Dodson is
great fight
at 135. I like John Dodson back at 35. That's a hell of a fight. Jimmy Rivera needs a win. He had that really disappointing loss in his last one, but needs a win. Carla Esparza, Tatiana Suarez. A lot of people are very high on Tatiana Suarez. Carla Esparza looked good in her last one after a lot of people kind of wrote her off out of the division. Looked good, but I think Suarez is.
Do you know it's going to be a fun
much.
fight, and it's going to be a cracking. It's going to be a bloodbath. Diego Sanchez, Craig White. I just think that has the potential because Diego's going to walk in and go, yeah, let's go, and Craig White will be all too.
Wait, who's Diego got?
Craig White, former Cage Warriors fighter. He came in a short notice against Neil Magny there last time. For his UFC debut.
I can't picture him.
Yeah, so it's at
into some scraps.
It's at 170, so it's he will happily engage.
Diego's at 170 again?
Yeah.
Didn't he just fight at 145?
That's Diego Sanchez for you. It's
155 or something.
Is he the nightmare? Is he the nightmare this week, or is he what did he call himself? The Nightmare, and then
He's
the
chilling
dream.
now, man.
Lionheart.
The dream.
The dream, Lionheart. So he's on a
He
3-fight
he fought a welterweight last against Matt Brown. Lost.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Matt Brown.
Remember Matt Brown
Neptune.
deck chaired him.
Yeah, and then before that, Aloy Aquinta. Yeah, Aloy Aquinta.
Remember the UFC fucked up. Remember you were watching it and I went to the an empty press room. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
So just as Matt Brown was closing the distance, it went to a different camera and it was like an empty press room.
Yeah.
And then when you came back, Diego Sanchez was lying unconscious on the ground and you're going, what the shit just happened?
Bush
and
league.
then John Anik in his iron jeans turned around and said, we'll try have some pictures of the finish. And you're going, we want fucking video content. Now they did have it, but just somebody obviously in the truck or something made it, said camera 3.
You assume someone got fired for that.
Somebody went, camera 3, and it was like just some guy in the press room setting up chairs.
Yeah, Dana bleeding.
Yeah.
He's buried in the desert.
That's a serious fuck up. Like that's not a kind of fuck up.
No. And it was a finish and a half. It was unbelievable.
I think Diego's time is about to.
Yes.
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 He is.
Yes.
And he's falling out with Cowboy as well. Big thing. A lot of people were sort of shitting on this card. They were saying it's not a very exciting card. I seen on a forum, one of these MMA groups, someone went, I don't think this is, apart from the Woodley Till fight, I think this is a really underselling card and there's not many great fights.
Well, the only thing is...
I disagree.
No, I like it, but the only thing is, as we went through it, I more and more think, oh, this seems like a mismatch. Oh, this seems like a mismatch. That's the only thing.
I think...
On the main card,
Main card, Co-main and Zabit's fight.
That's 2 out of 5 where it's possibly a mismatch.
I think further down as well. Like I really think the undercard has some great fights.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like Jim Miller. When's Jim Miller ever in a bad fight?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Never.
Yeah.
Diego Sanchez, even if he's on the bad end of it, when's he in a bad fight?
Yeah, it's true, but
Rivera Dotson, that's going to be an absolute
fight.
farm.
That should be on the main card.
Sterling, Cody Stamen, I reckon their grappling's going to cancel each other out.
Those 4 in the 135 landscape,
Yeah.
Great fights.
It's great.
Great fights.
Well done.
I'm rooting for Aljo. Aljo's my homie. I watched him at pads the other day, and I'm like, man, I gotta get back down there. I gotta train with him again. I just see some things I want, because grappling wise, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's deadly.
Aljo's grappling is way undersold.
Doesn't use it a whole lot anymore.
Very, very good, but his striking, he's got great power and he's a good striker, but I think he can be an excellent striker. I just want like a month with him. I don't know, it's not that far. Call
Marlon Moraes caught him with the knee coming in, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then he went comatose.
Yeah, he sort of dived in on the takedown, didn't he? And he got absolutely Marlon Moraes.
Wait, you mean Moraes?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that happens.
Yeah, that was just got caught.
Just get caught.
It happens. You get caught. Yeah, absolutely.